Okay, so today we're going to jump right into something pretty powerful.
Yeah.
We're looking at chapters 4 through 7 of Shimana Quantum Code S2. And
Right.
basically, you've given us the mission of trying to unpack these two ideas.
Yeah.
The sacred geometry of infinite love
Right.
and these 12 rays of light.
Exactly.
So we're going to try to give everybody kind of a shortcut here
Yeah.
to understanding some pretty big concepts.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, a shortcut. I mean, these chapters present a whole framework for healing and accessing this infinite love, and it's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
So we're going to do our best to distill it down to the essentials and really focus on how this sacred geometry is not just like a symbol, it's more like an energetic tool.
Right.
And then these 12 rays, they're like the guardians or guides along the way.
Okay.
There are even some practical exercises mentioned in the text, so we'll touch on those too.
Awesome. All right. So let's dive right in then to chapter 4.
Okay.
The sacred geometry of infinite love. It's a blueprint, right?
Yeah, a blueprint for a higher state of being.
Okay.
And one of the first things that stands out is that it's not just some pretty picture or design. It's described as a really dynamic tool.
Yeah.
Multidimensional, something that can help you actually align with higher realms of existence and your true self.
And so what are like the core elements that we need to visualize here?
All right, so imagine a lotus flower, and that represents your third eye chakra, which is like the energy center for intuition, inner vision, that gut feeling, you know. And intertwined with the lotus flower is the heart.
Okay.
That symbolizes the heart chakra, the center of infinite love and universal wisdom.
So I'm picturing like a lotus flower and a heart kind of interwoven.
Exactly, intertwined, yeah.
Okay.
And there's this great quote from Rumi that really gets to the heart of this.
Oh, yeah.
He says, "Only from the heart can you reach the sky."
I love that.
Really emphasizes the shift from a feel-based mind to a heart-centered way of being.
Okay, so it's really about shifting that perspective.
Right.
From fear to love. All right, so how did the third eye and the heart interact then?
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting. The material suggests that our minds, they're shaped by our experiences, by our conditioning, right?
Right.
And those deep-seated survival instincts can sometimes create limitations for us.
It's like putting filters on
It's like filters, yeah, exactly.
on our perception.
Yeah, and when the third eye, which is involved in how we perceive reality, when it operates on its own, it can get caught up in those fear-based patterns.
Okay.
But when the third eye and the heart come into sync, it's like a game changer.
Okay.
The mind stops clouding the view with all those anxieties, and your reality starts to be projected from the pure, loving energy of the heart.
So instead of our reality being shaped by fear, it starts to get shaped by love.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And think about it this way. Your heart's love, it's not just a feeling. It's like the projector of your experience.
Okay.
You align that with your intuitive mind, and you're choosing a reality based on love rather than fear.
Wow.
And this alignment, it can open you up to more positive possibilities, what they call higher timelines, and even a broader awareness that goes beyond our usual senses.
So it's really about expanding our perception of what's even possible.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. And then in this state of heart-centered harmony, this idea of the 12 guardian angels and the 12 rays of light comes up.
Right. They emerge from the heart.
Okay.
These rays are described as carrying specific divine energies, and they basically create this protective and supportive field around you.
It's like having this energetic support system.
It is, yeah. It's like a spiritual safety net.
Okay.
And if we zoom out a bit, those 12 rays, they're presented as guides and helpers for your healing journey, your life's purpose, and for activating higher levels of consciousness.
So they're helping us to kind of step into our full potential.
Exactly. And it's a powerful reminder that when you're operating from that heart space, you're also tapping into a deeper source of guidance and support.
Like we're not alone in this.
You're not alone, exactly.
There's this team of angels and light helping us along.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Okay, so then we've got the sacred geometry. And these 12 rays coming out from the heart and then surrounding this whole thing are these 16 golden spheres.
Right, representing the 16 ascendant masters.
And there's a bit of numerology here, right? 16 reduces to 7, which is often associated with spiritual awakening and mastery.
That's right. Yeah, they're like reservoirs of pure wisdom.
Okay.
Almost like living libraries holding knowledge and records from across different dimensions.
Wow, so they've got this vast amount of knowledge.
Yeah, and when your heart and third eye are in that unified state, these 16 spheres, they appear in your energy field acting as a protective bubble, a space for deep healing, A supportive environment for spiritual growth.
Like an energetic sanctuary.
Exactly.
And this ties into the etheric chamber of healing, right within the Shimana Quantum Code.
Yes, it's this sacred space where the sacred geometry of infinite love helps facilitate deep healing. Bringing together different aspects of yourself and that expansion of awareness we've been talking about.
So how can people start to engage with these ideas?
Well, the text provides some practical ways. They call them activations.
Okay, I like that.
There's the morning vibration elevation, which includes practices like meditation, gratitude affirmations, visualization.
So starting your day with a high vibe.
Exactly, setting a positive tone.
Okay, what else?
Then there's the heart-centered projection exercise,
Okay.
where you find a quiet space, focus on your heart and third eye, and visualize a beam of golden light connecting them. The idea is to then consciously perceive the world through the lens of your heart, infused with that loving energy.
So kind of seeing the world through the eyes of love.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
very cool.
And lastly, there's the Guardian Angels and Ascendant Masters invocation, a way to intentionally call upon these beings for guidance, healing, and support.
Okay, so it's like we're actively inviting them into our space.
Yes, and creating a sacred space for that connection.
So to wrap up this first part, the main message around this sacred geometry of infinite love is that it's a dynamic doorway to higher possibilities.
Yeah.
And the key is that connection between your heart and your mind.
Precisely, that unified energy between your intuitive mind and your loving heart unlocks it all.
It's about aligning those two aspects of ourselves.
That's right.
And that leads us perfectly into chapter 5,
Okay.
which focuses on the sacred geometry of the heart as a portal to other dimensions.
Right.
And this chapter starts with a really interesting story about Shimashadru receiving a channeled song.
Yeah, from Master Shams right before a training session.
It was in the kitchen, right?
In the kitchen, preparing food, and suddenly this melody and these words just started flowing in.
It's so cool how these downloads happen.
It is. It's really remarkable.
And the excerpt shares some powerful lines like, come, your heart knows the way.
It really emphasizes the heart as this inner compass, this gateway.
Okay, so it's not just about feeling, it's about accessing something deeper.
Yes, exactly. And what's key here is that within the sacred geometry, the heart is seen as much more than just an emotional center.
Okay.
It's a multidimensional energy portal, a direct link to other realms of existence, different points in time, and aspects of your own higher self.
Wow. Okay, so we can actually connect with other versions of ourselves.
That's the idea.
In other dimensions.
Yes. By connecting with your heart, you can tap into parallel realities and even communicate with different versions of yourself who have already navigated certain challenges or developed specific abilities.
It's like accessing a library of wisdom from our own higher self.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, so the mind and the heart are operating on different frequencies then.
Yes. The text draws a distinction there.
Okay.
The mind tends to operate within the confines of logic and past experiences. But the heart vibrates at the frequency of unconditional love.
Okay.
And that love frequency is the key to accessing those higher dimensions.
So love is literally the key that unlocks these other realms.
That's the idea. Yeah.
And what kind of abilities are we talking about here?
Well, it lists some pretty extraordinary things.
Okay.
Like transcending the usual limitations of time and space, tapping into the wisdom of your higher self,
Okay.
connecting with spiritual guides, receiving deep insights,
Wow.
and even merging with those alternate aspects of yourself we talked about.
So it's like we become this more expansive version of ourselves.
Exactly.
Okay. And is there an exercise for this?
Yes, there's the heart activation exercise.
Right.
It involves finding a quiet moment, focusing your breath in your heart area, visualizing that heart-shaped sacred geometry glowing within your chest and expanding its energy. Then consciously asking to connect with your higher self, being open to whatever insights or feelings arise, and then grounding that connection.
Okay, so we're visualizing, connecting, and then grounding that energy.
That's right.
All right, I like that.
One of the most impactful ideas here is the heart's ability to instantly shift your energy. Your mind might try to reason its way to a better feeling.
Right.
But your heart just operates on the frequency of love, which is the highest energetic state.
It's like it just knows.
Exactly. So
different.
it's about feeling your way to a higher vibration rather than thinking about it.
Okay, so it's not about overthinking, it's about feeling.
Yes, feeling your way there.
Okay.
And this ties directly into the concept of your higher self residing within your heart. Tuning into your heart is tuning into the wisdom and intuition of that more expanded version of you.
So we all have this inner wisdom that we can access.
We do. It's there waiting to be tapped into.
And how do we strengthen that heart connection?
A few methods are suggested.
Go.
A morning heart alignment practice.
Go.
Intentionally asking and listening to your heart's guidance throughout the day.
So instead of immediately going to the mind.
Exactly. Check in with your heart first, and then following the heart's pull, paying attention to what brings you joy, peace, a sense of expansion.
So what lights us up?
Yes, what feels expansive, and trusting that as a form of soul guidance.
Okay, so it's about learning to trust those inner nudges.
Exactly.
Right, so the central message here is that the heart is not just a physical organ or an emotion center.
It's your core connection to something much larger than yourself.
Okay.
Your fundamental link to source energy and the key to unlocking your unlimited potential.
That's powerful stuff.
It is, yeah.
All right, so let's move on to chapter 6.
Okay.
This is where we get into the 12 rays of light, guardians of healing and transformation.
Yes, radiating from the center of the sacred geometry of infinite love.
So we got the geometry, the heart, and now these rays.
Each ray embodying the energy and guidance of one of the 12 guardian angels.
That's a lot to visualize.
It is, but it's a beautiful image.
Yeah.
And you know what's fascinating is the historical perspective offered here.
Okay.
The text mentions how ancient cultures held light and color in such high regard, specifically highlighting the use of colored glass called orosi in traditional Persian architecture.
Oh, yeah, I've seen pictures of that.
They believed that sunlight passing through these colored patterns had therapeutic effects on the body, mind, and spirit.
So they were already tapping into this.
They were, and it resonates with our modern understanding of chromotherapy or color therapy.
It's amazing how this ancient wisdom is being rediscovered and validated by science.
It really is.
Okay, so the chapter breaks down each of these 12 rays.
Right. For each one, it details the ray number and color the archangel associated with it.
Yeah.
The specific frequency range where I mentioned the corresponding chakra and what that chakra governs.
Okay.
The unique healing power of the ray and its archangel, including benefits for your physical body, emotions, and spirit.
Okay.
And finally, how it can be applied in healing, sometimes referencing light therapy and those ancient Persian beliefs.
So it's really comprehensive.
Very detailed.
Okay, so let's go through them one by one.
All right.
First ray is blue light, Archangel Michael, protection, strength, willpower.
Yes, and it resonates with the throat chakra, which governs communication and truth, said to be calming and helpful for anxiety.
So blue is for communication and calmness.
Yeah.
Okay. Second ray, yellow light, Archangel Jophiel,
Wisdom, mental clarity, aligning with the solar plexus chakra.
our power center.
Exactly, and potentially aiding digestion and the nervous system.
So yellow's for wisdom and digestion.
That's right.
Okay. Third ray, pink light, Archangel Chaniel.
Okay,
Unconditional love, emotional healing,
makes sense.
works with the heart chakra, the center for love and balance. And it's said to help release emotional pain and even activate the thymus gland.
Which is important for...
Immunity and connecting with your higher self.
Okay, pink for love and the immune system.
Exactly.
Okay, what's next?
The fourth ray is white light, Archangel Gabriel,
Okay.
representing purity and spiritual awakening, connected to the crown chakra at the top of your head
Right.
for divine connection,
Yeah.
and helpful for clearing mental fog.
So white is for clearing and connecting.
Yes, pure energy.
Okay, fifth ray.
Green light, Archangel Raphael.
Focused on healing and harmony.
Green for healing, that makes sense.
Also linked to the heart chakra and supporting the health of your heart, lungs, and immune system.
So a lot of heart healing with the green ray.
Yeah, very much so.
Okay.
Sixth ray, purple or violet light, Archangel Zadkiel, symbolizing transformation and spiritual insight, resonating with the third eye chakra, your center of intuition,
Okay.
said to clear negative energy.
So violet is for intuition and clearing.
That's right.
All right. Seventh ray.
Orange light, Archangel Uriel.
Okay.
Creativity, joy connected to the sacral chakra, which governs creativity and well-being,
Interesting.
potentially benefiting reproductive health.
Okay. So orange is for creativity and sacral chakra health.
Exactly.
Okay.
Eighth ray, indigo light, Archangel Raziel.
Indigo. Okay.
Higher consciousness, psychic abilities, also working with the third eye to deepen intuition.
So we've got 2 rays for the third eye.
We do both indigo and violet are linked to intuition and psychic awareness.
Okay.
Ninth ray, gold light, archangel Metatron. Divine wisdom and protection.
Gold for wisdom. That makes sense.
Connected to both the crown chakra and the stellar gateway chakra above the head.
Above the head.
For spiritual enlightenment and strengthening your energetic field.
So that's the aura.
Yes, the aura.
Okay.
It's also mentioned as potentially helpful for headaches and immune support.
Interesting. Okay. 10th ray.
Silver light, archangel, Haniel.
Okay.
Embodying divine feminine energy and emotional healing.
Silver feminine energy.
Linked to the sacral chakra for emotional balance.
Okay.
11th ray, ruby red light.
Okay.
Back to Archangel Uriel.
Okay, so Uriel is associated with 2 rays.
Yes, both orange and ruby red.
Interesting.
This one focuses on strength and grounding connected to the root chakra at the base of your spine.
Okay.
For stability and physical healing in the lower body.
So red is for grounding and strength.
Exactly.
And the final ray.
12th ray, turquoise light, Archangel Sandalphon.
Okay.
Harmony communication working with both the throat and heart chakras.
Ah.
To promote clear expression and healing in relationships.
So turquoise is for communication and relationships.
Yes, bringing those two together.
Okay, so that's all 12 rays.
All 12, a comprehensive system of energies and potential benefits.
Yeah, it's like a whole spectrum of healing possibilities.
It really is, and it highlights this connection between color vibrational frequency, angelic guidance, and your body's energy centers.
All fundamental to healing and transformation.
Exactly.
Okay, so chapter 7 takes us deeper into this connection between ancient wisdom and modern science.
Yes. It's called The Healing Tower of Light and Frequency, Ancient Persian Wisdom and Modern Science.
Really bridging the gap between those two perspectives.
Exactly.
And they go back to those Arosi windows, right?
They do. They revisit that ancient Persian understanding of light's healing properties.
Mm-hmm.
The Persians believed that sunlight, as it passed through the colored glass, was transformed into healing rays.
Right.
And they give specific examples: red light for vitality,
Okay.
blue for calming green, for renewal yellow for mental clarity.
So they intuitively understood the power of different light frequencies.
They did. It's fascinating.
And now science is catching up.
It is. Modern chromotherapy is based on the understanding that different wavelengths of light can stimulate healing processes in the body.
So it's like this ancient intuition is being validated by research.
Exactly.
It's really cool.
It is.
Okay, so then they talk about the Zoroastrian tradition
Mm-hmm.
and their reverence for sacred fire.
Right.
I-
Atar
Hmm.
as a divine force for purifying energy and promoting healing.
Hmm.
And they draw parallels between the different types of sacred fire used for specific purposes.
Okay.
Golden fire for spiritual awakening, blue for emotional purification, red for physical healing, for cleansing the energetic body.
Wow, so they had specific colors of fire for different purposes.
They did, and it echoes the color therapy we see in the Persian glasswork.
So there's this consistent theme of color and light being used for healing.
Exactly, across different cultures and traditions.
And then they connect this to the Shimana Quantum Code.
Right. The text explains how Shimana bridges these ancient practices.
Okay.
It discusses channeling divine light for clearing energetic blockages and activating DNA healing,
Mm-hmm.
and utilizing the violet flame of transmutation in a way that mirrors the Zoroastrian sacred fire.
Okay, so transmuting negative energy.
Yes, transforming them into something positive.
And the 12 rays of light also reflect this ancient understanding.
Absolutely. Each ray carrying its own unique frequency and healing properties guided by its specific archangel.
Okay, so it's all interconnected.
It is.
Then they talk about sacred fire activation within Shimana.
Right. How it enhances healing.
Okay.
Using the violet flame for working through trauma.
Okay.
The presence of color-coded energy fields the infusion of light through specific breathwork techniques and the alignment of our inner elemental energies.
So it's like bringing all these elements together.
It is, yeah, a very holistic approach.
And do they give any scientific examples of light healing?
They provide tangible support for light-based healing with modern light therapies.
Mm-hmm.
Red light therapy for promoting cellular regeneration and reducing inflammation.
Mm-hmm.
Blue light therapy for treating acne and regulating sleep patterns.
Interesting.
Green light therapy for pain management and emotional balance.
Okay.
And yellow light therapy for enhancing cognitive function and mood.
So there's actual scientific evidence to back up these ancient practices.
There is. It's really remarkable.
It really is.
And it brings us back to the ancient Persians embedding this understanding of light into their architecture.
Right, creating energetic healing tools within their spaces.
Exactly like those Orosi windows.
So they were really ahead of their time.
In a way, yes.
And the text reiterates the connection between the 12 rays and those colored glass windows,
emphasizing their resonance with the chakras and their potential to facilitate healing on all levels.
physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual.
Yes, the whole spectrum.
And are there any exercises for working with the 12 rays?
Yes, there's a ray of light meditation for healing, a practice for chakra alignment with the 12 rays, and a healing with colored light visualization.
So people can actually start to experience this for themselves.
That's the idea.
Awesome.
And the chapter concludes by framing this knowledge as a revival of an ancient lineage of light healers.
Bringing back this ancient wisdom.
Exactly.
So it's like we're rediscovering this powerful connection to light.
We are, and it hints at more in-depth explorations to come in Shimana Quantum Code Level 2.
Oh, really? Like what?
Topics like specific light frequencies, further fire activations,
Okay.
the violet flame's deeper connection to Zoroastrian fire practices, Persian healing mantras and breathwork techniques, and the interplay of planetary alignments and light geometry within shamana healing practices.
Wow. So there's a whole other level to this.
It seems like just the beginning.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
We've explored the sacred geometry of infinite love as this blueprint for personal growth.
Right through the alignment of your heart and mind.
We've considered the heart as a multidimensional portal.
Connecting you to broader realities and your own higher wisdom.
And we've delved into the concept of the 12 rays of light,
as guiding and healing energies.
with roots in ancient wisdom and increasing support from modern science.
Exactly. A beautiful tapestry of knowledge.
It really is. And we hope this exploration is giving you some valuable insights.
And maybe sparked a curiosity to investigate these concepts further.
Yes, for your own well-being and expanded understanding of yourself and the world around you.
Exactly.
So for our final thought today, considering this interplay between ancient wisdom and modern interpretations of energy and light,
Yeah.
what personal practices might you be inspired to explore to cultivate greater heart coherence and perhaps connect with these potential healing frequencies in your own daily life?
It's a great question to ponder.
Or given the emphasis on the heart as this potent portal, what might it look like for you to consciously shift your perspective from your mind to your heart when you encounter a challenging situation?
It's about finding that balance between the two. And remembering the power of the heart.
Absolutely.
The ideas we've explored today, they offer a glimpse into a much larger picture of consciousness healing and our connection to the universe. We encourage you to continue your own journey of learning and discovery, building upon these concepts and seeing where they might lead you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure diving deep with you.
Likewise.